WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Well, there will now be a change in the way special events are permitted in Starkville. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Scott Martin. Well, these special events include things like parades and processions. During tonight's Board of Aldermen meeting, city leaders voted to amend its current ordinance. Our Quentin Smith was at that meeting. He now joins us live in the studio with more on what this means. Hey, Quentin.
Yeah, Scott, this change makes it where the Board of Aldermen will have the final say-so on whether special events can take place in the city of Starkville. Now, prior to this change, the chief of police had a say-so on whether a special event, such as a parade, could take place. However, this vote now does away with that and puts the decision solely in the board's hands. City leaders held 2 public hearings on this issue before tonight's vote.
Well, I just think it's important that the board is the elected body, and they're the ones who get to make those decisions about how our streets are used and how we allow special events and how we're policing what we do throughout the community.
The board voted unanimously on the decision. And also tonight, city leaders in Starkville voted to make 2 vital infrastructure improvements, the first being a new power location. The board approved a $12 million revenue bond to bring in a new substation and replace its old one. The new substation will be located just off of Azalea Road. The board says the new substation will help increase the city's response time whenever there is a delay or power outage within the city.
It'll be just as a part of our normal operation. Right now we have 4 substations in a loop. We have 1 delivery point, and now we'll actually have 2 delivery points, one from the south, one fed from the north, which gives us a lot of flexibility that we can serve depending on operations or problems that we may have on the system to continue to meet the load for the city.
Along with the new substation, the city will also make upgrades to its water and sewer system. The board voted to make renovations to its current lagoon, which is just off of Sand Road. Now, the lagoon is 25 acres. However, it's gradually getting filled. The board approved a $10 million revenue bond to make these changes. Scott?
All right, thanks very much, Quentin. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for the first look at our Tuesday evening forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, we had a pretty warm day. Temperatures well into the mid-90s and a nice little burst of color here again this evening across West Alabama. Most spots now clear. We are still looking at some mild temperatures, although a little bit cooler in those sheltered spots, a little low-lying spots. Louisville reporting 69, but other spots like Tupelo 77. So all over the place tonight in general, upper 60s to around 70. The wind is now calm. And for your Wednesday, how about more heat? Mostly sunny and hot. Mid-90s. We're going to go with about 94, although can't rule out some spots getting to 95, maybe 96 degrees. This heat is not going to last all week, though. Your full forecast is coming up.
Well, prepared and ready. 2 things Webster County emergency responders plan to be in case of an emergency. Emergency crews responded to a mock crash involving a chlorine tanker. The Pura Fire and Police Departments, Webster County Sheriff's Office, and Matheson Fire Department were all involved. Organizers say that these drills help everyone see where they stand and what improvements they can make going forward.
Drills like this help stress our processes and help us find ways that we can improve, and then we have the opportunity to implement improvement processes for the event that an actual disaster occurs. We're ready to respond appropriately and immediately.
Webster County EMA plans to make these drills a regular part of their training. Preparedness and coordination, the face of disaster, were the goals in Columbus today as well. WCBI's Blair Schaefer got to see firsthand how first responders practice their skills in case we're hit with the real thing.
When a large-scale disaster strikes our area, local emergency responders can always count on help from other agencies. But getting these groups on the same page can take up valuable time. To keep things running smoothly, personnel from these departments team up for annual disaster drills.
It's important because coordination. We want to make sure that all of our agencies are coordinated, and we know each agency, we know the resources that are available here in Lowndes County. If there is a tornado that actually touches down Lowndes County, we'll have the assistance that we need right here in Lowndes County.
The drill also provides the next best thing to real-life experience for area nursing students.
It is very important for them to see the community aspect and see how each agency works together and to see what their roles are. And it also gives them a chance to triage, because we have students out here triaging their classmates to see if they get it right.
With this month being National Safety Month, the administration is using this awareness to be proactive.
Here testing our plans and make sure that if we have any gaps in our plans, any shortcomings, that we'll go back and we'll tweak our plan and make it ready in case we have a disaster here in Lowndes County.
Not only is the administration willing to adjust their plans for the better, but they are also excited about giving their students an advantage.
The nursing students at the W will graduate in May. So wherever agency they choose to work at, they always have disaster drills, so they will have an upper hand because they have participated and they can see how their hospital, how the community agencies respond.
The state and volunteer agencies, healthcare facilities, the Columbus Air Force Base, and MUW were all a part of today's drill. Well, flooding was the topic of discussion for landowners from Calhoun, Grenada, and Yalobusha counties today. In a public forum, county residents spent the morning voicing concerns about seasonal flooding and its impact on homes, crop production, and safety. The representatives from the offices of U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith and U.S. Representative Trent Kelly, they were there in attendance. Vicksburg District Corps of Engineers Senior Project Manager Kent Parrish says that they're actively taking steps to help relieve this long-time issue.
Started back in the late 90s, and we did a lot of work till the mid-2000s. We need to go back in and survey and see how those measures are doing, what they need to be rehabbed, and then we need to do more stabilization in the other areas up here in the county.
Well, the meeting was hosted by the Calhoun County Board of Supervisors.
We've got this big dome of heat moving on through the region, and that means more warmth for your Wednesday, Thursday, mid-90s, but that's going to relax a little bit by the weekend. Details on that coming up next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We're in the 70s right now, mostly clear out there. GTR 76, Columbus at the Air Force Base 74, so a little bit of a difference there. Winona 71, Tupelo at 77. Some spots already into the upper 60s. We are going to stay hot for the next 2 days. The heat will relax a little bit by this weekend, so it won't be as bad. And rain chances will be coming on back here. So let's talk about what we had out there today. Well, actually, let's talk about the car wash forecast. I'm getting ahead of myself. Wash tomorrow and Thursday, mid-90s. Rain chances basically zero, but we'll have some scattered showers and storms here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, here we go. Here's our time lapses from Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, at Durham's Pharmacy, downtown Louisville, Mississippi. Some of those friendly clouds going away. A pretty nice sunset in some spots that had a little bit of cloud cover this evening, but overall, a great evening to be had. We have a lack of activity here in the deep south right now. I do want to talk about this heat, though. Macon, Georgia, 100 degrees today. So if you thought it was bad here, raise it a few degrees, about 5-6 degrees, and that's what it was in Macon, a new record high for today. And also the record flooding over here in North Carolina. Let's fly on into the Cape Fear River. That's what it is, near Fayetteville, North Carolina. Notice how we've basically gone up 30 feet since Saturday, now into this severe flood stage. Not record territory at that particular point, but it's going to take a few more days to get back down below flood stage. And there's going to be flooding problems over there for many days and a few weeks, it would appear, with all the rain that fell. Now, around here, we could use a drink from Mother Nature. Not going to get it tomorrow, though. 70 at 7, 91 at noon, 94, 4 o'clock, 86 at 7 in the evening. So your Wednesday evening will be very similar to the one we just had, or we are experiencing now. About 94, 95 degrees across northeast Mississippi. Some of you could be a little bit warmer, but overall, it's going to be a toasty day for us. Keep in mind the average right now is about 85 or 86 degrees, so about 10 degrees above it, and our overnight low should be down into the low 60s, not necessarily the upper 60s. So pretty warm locally. If you're doing any traveling tomorrow, there could be a few scattered showers and storms farther south and west and also southeast, closer to the coast, obviously, closer to that big body of water, the Gulf of Mexico. Better chance for a few storms, but for us here, I think we will stay dry. Here's Futurecast as we roll on into your Thursday. Much the same story. Pretty warm, fairly dry. A front will approach Friday. We'll see a chance for a few scattered showers and storms. That front's going to hang up, not really move through here, so it will keep the opportunity for rain going for the weekend into early next week, too. Maybe by the end of next week, we could have a stronger front that could actually blast on through here, but it's still kind of early to get one of these really good fall fronts around here, so just keep hoping. But right now, pretty warm for Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, you'll notice several T-shirts on drill field at Mississippi State for this year's clothesline project. The T-shirt colors represent different types of violence, ranging from sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse. The Clothesline Project is an annual event to raise awareness about those tragic situations and help those affected heal from those experiences. The Clothesline Project will be on display on the drill field tomorrow and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Well, time is up for finalizing city and county budgets. Still ahead, a look behind the scenes of crunching all of those numbers. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Saturday was the deadline for the county and municipal budgets, and while there's a flurry of activity in the first couple of weeks of September, the real work has been going on for months. Our Riley Livingston talks to city and county leaders to learn more about the process.
Many people don't give much thought to city and county budgets until they come up for a vote and approval. But getting the annual spending plan to that stage takes months of prep work and involves several people working together to get the most bang for the buck.
I meet with every department head and I say, okay, what's your wish list? And what's your wants, what's your wish list? And we go from there. That's their wish list. I'm not going to say they're going to get it, but that's their wish list.
Besides just the bottom line, there are other things that have to be taken into consideration.
It's police, fire, the public safety factor, providing a better quality of life, parks and recreation. We do the best we can with our infrastructure needs, providing what is expected of the citizens of Louisville.
Boards have to work closely with those who will be spending the money to make sure their priorities line up.
The key is to have those heads that are department heads to make sure that they watch it all throughout the year. And once you do that, it makes your budgeting a little more simple. A little easier. We have a very conservative board group, and we just don't overspend.
Sometimes cities look outside of their area to see what's working for others.
The towns, the cities across the state of Mississippi, how do they make things happen? What we did as a model of what was done in certain cities across the state many years ago, we can't go back and do that years ago. We can start it now so that we're setting the city up for prosperity in the future.
Budgets also help individual departments stay on track.
Well, it's important because you don't know where you're going if you don't have a budget to stay in budget. I mean, it's like in your personal life. You know, you have to have a budget or you'll just be spending on the wrong things, the wrong items, and not have enough money for the right things and the right items.
The 2018-2019 budgets will go into effect October 1st. Well, 4A division foes face off on the volleyball court. Highlights from Amory coming up next in sports.
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. There's no way. Why was it fine at 5 and 6 and it's different now? Oh, I'm so tired. One, two, three.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Week 6 of the high school football season is fast approaching, and it all changes this week as teams begin to dive into division play. Here are the AP poll for Week 6 of the high school football season. Overall, Starkville at number 1, no reason to change that. West Point at number 4 is the only other area team that jumps into the top 10. Tupelo falling out of the top 10 this week. They had a bye week last week, so the Golden Wave could jump back in with a win this week. Then throughout the classes, 6A, Starkville at 1, Horn Lake at 2, Clinton at 3, Brandon at 4, and Northwest Rankin at 5. And to 5A, Hattiesburg at 1, West Point at 2, Olive Branch at 3, Lafayette at 4, and Wayne County at 5. It'll be a top 5 matchup in West Point between the Green Wave and the Commodores coming up on Friday. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But then to 4A, a little bit of change. Pontotoc drops 2 spots to 3 after their loss to Oxford on Friday. So East Central takes the 1 spot, Louisville at 2, Poplarville at 4, and Noxubee County rounding out the top 5 for 4A. And then in 3A, North Panola at 1, Winona at 2, Jeff Davis County at 3, West Marion at 4, Houston at 5, Water Valley and Boonville also receiving votes in 3A. Water Valley and Winona, hey, they play each other on Friday too, so battle of undefeateds there. We'll talk about that one in a minute here as well. And then 2A, no area teams, but Eupora got some votes. And then in 1A, more of the same. Simmons at 1, Lumberton at 2, Nanawai at 3, Okolona at 4, and Stringer at 5. You can go to our website, WCBI.com, to see the full polls and also the latest MAIS polls for Week 6. Another week where the game of the week is up to you. After a day of voting, plenty have already began to make their choices and voices be heard. The candidates, we just talked about them, a battle of undefeateds, Winona at Water Valley, 2 of the top teams in 5A North, Lafayette at West Point, or the Schooner River rivalry, Bruce at Calhoun City. All great games, a lot of great games this Friday, but only one can be the game of the week. So how can you vote? Go to our Twitter account at WCBI Endzone. It is the pinned tweet. The first thing you'll see is the poll. Make sure to submit your vote there, or go to our Facebook page, WCBI Endzone, and click the link that's there. That will take you to our website, which has the poll there. And if you want to go straight through the website, go to www.wcbi.com, and then go to the Sports tab, and where you'll find the Game of the Week tab, and there you will find your 3 choices. Again, Winona at Water Valley, Lafayette at West Point, and Bruce at Calhoun City. A lot of great games coming up on Friday. Time to honor those who do the dirty work on the power lines and in the trenches. It's our Lineman of the Week.
Tonight's Lineman of the Week is brought to you by Northeast Mississippi's Electric Power Association.
Tonight, Lafayette Lineman of the Week goes to Jason Caruthers. Jason has 10 years of service with Northeast Mississippi's Electric Power Association. WCBI's Lineman of the Week go to the Oxford Chargers. 31-12 win over Pontotoc, 7 tackles for loss, 1 sack for that front 7. That's a really good defeat against a very good Pontotoc offense. And the offensive line clearing the way for 3 rushing TDs. Jeremiah Pegues with all 3. 3-game winning streak for the Chargers. They're on the road at South Haven coming up on Friday. To Amory for some volleyball, Lady Panthers hosting Pontotoc in division play. Early on for the Lady Grapes, Randa Claire Payne serves Amory's Brooklyn Bell with the return, but Sandra Brooks with the kill. Lady Warriors leading early on, and then Randa Claire Payne one more time. She's going to get the ace for the point. So Pontotoc rolling, but Amory trying to bounce back. Still in the first set, Abby Parrish sets it up to Kylie Westbrook for the kill. That cuts into that Pontotoc lead, and then Chloe Sanders says, anything you can do, I can do better. She picks up an ace of her own. The Pontotoc wins in straight sets, defeating Amory 3-0. So Starkville Academy hosting Leak Academy. Lady Vols trying to get things rolling on senior night. Second for Starkville Academy, down early. Anna Ray Taylor, a deep shot to center. That gets over the fielder's head, so Taylor's going to waltz in for a stand-up double. But that'd be all the Lady Vols could gather in the inning as Carolyn Montgomery, Paisley Collada, and Arlie Oswald all strike out. Tough day for the Lady Vols as Leak Central picks up the W 14-0. That's it for sports. We'll have the last of your forecast next.
Plenty of heat for Wednesday and Thursday, mid-90s here, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. There will be a chance for a few storms here on Friday. Let's hope for the best for high school football. Also some rain chances this weekend, but it won't be as hot by the weekend.
I keep getting confused because it says tomorrow's Wednesday, and I was off yesterday, so today's my Monday.
Yeah, so tomorrow's your Tuesday /
That's
Wednesday.
right. All right, thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.